Pemerintah Indonesia segera menjalankan program Makan Bergizi Gratis dalam upaya pemenuhan gizi generasi penerus bangsa. World Food Program atau WFP sebagai lembaga kemanusiaan di bawah Perserikatan Bangsa-Bangsa yang berkonsentrasi pada upaya pemenuhan kebutuhan pangan dunia menyambut baik inisiatif program pemerintahan Prabowo-Gibran tersebut. Lantas bagaimana WFP menilai kesiapan penerapan program Makan Bergizi Gratis serta apa saja sejumlah perkembangan terkait upaya pemenuhan ketahanan pangan dunia? Simak diskusi koresponden CNN Indonesia Sufiani Tanjung dengan Wakil Direktur Eksekutif WFP di sela kunjungannya ke Indonesia.
Sesuai dengan fungsi yang diembannya untuk peningkatan gizi dan upaya pemenuhan kebutuhan pangan di seluruh dunia, World Food Program atau Program Pangan Dunia juga menaruh perhatian besar dalam upaya pemerintah Indonesia untuk menerapkan program Makan Bergizi Gratis. WFP bahkan berkunjung langsung ke Indonesia untuk melihat kesiapan dari pemerintah untuk menjalankan program ini di tahun 2025. Bagaimana WFP menilai kesiapan dari pemerintah Indonesia untuk penerapan program Makan Bergizi Gratis, serta apa saja perkembangan dari upaya pemenuhan kebutuhan pangan dunia? Saya akan langsung berbincang dengan Wakil Direktur Eksekutif dari World Food Program, Carl Scow. Thank you, Carl, for having me in the middle of your visit to our country. So allow me to go straight to the first question. What do you think the possibility of the government program of free nutrition meal for improving the children nutrition in our country? And what do you think the best way to improve or maximize the benefit from this program?
Nutritious meals is really key for healthy children. That's critical for healthy children, and healthy children is key for any prosperous society. So we are really excited that the Indonesian government, the president, has made this one of his top priorities. And we are here to see how we can contribute to the rollout of this program. I mean, Indonesia has made impressive progress over the past few years in dealing with malnutrition. We have been working with school meals for many decades in hundreds of countries. And so we have seen the positive impact of universal school meals. It's not only that it brings a nutritious meal to every child, but it also has an impact on children coming to school, not least girls. And also a positive economic impact on the community, because often these kitchens buy the food from the local farmers, the local communities, and that helps improve the local economy. And many of the women working in the kitchens comes from the local community. And so, it's a concept that has many positive side effects. And we've seen this also in big countries like India, Brazil.
I know this program will be running next year, right? Yeah. But maybe from your organization has like some suggestion to our government to improve or maximize the benefit from this kind of program, because you mentioned before that other big country already done this kind of program too.
I mean, it's a very ambitious effort. We're talking about 80 million children. I come from Sweden. This is 8 times the population of Sweden. So, of course, it's a major undertaking by the government, and it's going to require massive efforts. So, of course, there are going to be challenges. There is no doubt about that. So I think that's something to look at. Another is that it's something that is covering the entire country. It's, of course, easier to roll things out here in Jakarta. It's harder in the more rural areas, and I think that's another challenge that we hope that the government will look to early on, so that it's something that benefits everyone, and not least those who are now most vulnerable to malnutrition. So, I think it's natural that there's going to be challenges on the way, but there are a lot of good lessons also coming from other countries that we, having worked in those other countries, can come and bring to the table and provide elements of solutions to those challenges.
Could you please share the update about your organization program on those such country who already facing the war or crisis now?
Well, we are engaged in Gaza. We are next to UNRWA, the largest UN agency. We are providing about more than 1 million meals every month, or we are helping more than a million people every month in Gaza. We are extremely worried right now about the situation because in the past 2 months, our ability to move around and help and distribute has really come down. And also the commercial sector has not been able to come into Gaza in the way they did in June and July. So we see a dramatic decrease in food coming into Gaza. And this is happening just as the winter is around the corner. So we are deeply, deeply concerned about the situation in Gaza. And we are doing everything we can, and we are advocating loudly to try to address this. Another situation is Lebanon, of course. Again, deeply concerned about the escalation of the conflict. Yesterday was one of the worst days in terms of bombardments. We are now assisting some 200,000 people in Lebanon. The majority of those are the people in the shelters. But beyond that, we've also seen some 400,000 people moving into Syria. And Syria was a country already impacted by many years of war, and where the economic situation is really in a crisis.
If you want to share with us, could you please mention the listing of the main challenging situation that your organization facing during the crisis, like global crisis that happens nowadays?
I mean, at a global level, over the past 4 years, the number of people who are acutely food insecure, and those are people not chronically hungry, but who have been hit by a shock, like a war or a natural disaster. That number of people have more than doubled, from 150 million people to over 300 million people. In that same period, our budget, we are the largest UN agency and the largest humanitarian agency, but our budget has remained the same. So we are trying now to help twice as many people with the same funding that we had 4 years ago. So that, I think, is at a global level the big challenge, that there is not enough resources to meet the demand and the needs.
Okay. The last question will be, because the children usually being the fragile victim of the malnutrition, is there any specific program from your organization to overcome such of situation?
We always aim to target and to support those who are most in need, and that's often the children and women. And so whether it's in Sudan or in Gaza or anywhere else, that is our main target group. I think, that's why I also say that it's exciting with the school meals program, because it is aiming for children, of course, but it also has proved to have a very positive impact for girls, not least. And so we are very optimistic, again, that this school meals program that the government is rolling out will have massive positive impact beyond nutrition, but also on local economies and frankly on the health of children and the health of this country and a fundamental opportunity for a prosperous future.
Okay, thank you so much, Carl, for talking to CNN Indonesia.
No, it was a privilege. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Dan demikian wawancara saya dengan Wakil Direktur Eksekutif dari Program Pangan Dunia, Carl Skau. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa.